Hi, church friends! We're ready to do a cooking project this afternoon, and I hope you're ready too. We're going to be making granola. Oh, here, because our big granola jar is almost empty, and I eat granola every single day. So we've got to refill our big granola jar. First thing we're going to do is collect all of our tools that we need. We need a sheet pan. Some people call this a jelly roll because it's got these lips on it. And then I always put down a little mat, or you can use parchment paper, not waxed paper. That's different. Okay, you're going to need a 1 cup measure. What do you have there? A rubber spatula.
I have a spatula.
Yep, and a great big bowl. That's what we're going to get first. Oh, and I also have my special make granola tiny little pot. Let's start here. I'm going to turn the temperature of the oven on to 270 degrees. That's pretty low. Because what we're going to do with our granola is toast it, and we're going to soak up all the butter and all of the honey. So that's going to start. Okay, into here, thank you, Margreta. Into here we're going to put a stick of butter. I'm going to use salted butter, but it doesn't really matter. You can always add salt later to your mixture here. Oh, I should also say we washed our hands first. Very important when you're cooking for other people to wash your hands. And we're going to use a big cup of honey. Now, honey is super sticky, so I never measure it because it gets just super sticky. It all sticks inside my measuring cup. So I'm just going to dump it in. Glug, glug. And if it gets to be a cup or a little bit more than a cup, I don't know. It's about this much is what I'm going for, which for me, it looks like it's going to be about the rest of this jar. Let me show you how sticky it is. Can you see it stick to the butter there? It's so sticky. Oh, here comes some more. That's good. Okay, now we're going to let that, we actually might need some more in there. I might need to go get some more. Oh, we don't want it to be dry. Okay, I'm going to put this on the stove on low. Just low. I want it to melt, but not boil. So let me show you what low looks like. I almost dropped you, friend. Okay, so I'm talking low. Yeah, not very much heat. Okay. Whoa, you should have seen the gymnastics I had to go through to get you not dropped. Okay, first things first. Big bowl. We need our base, okay? Now, when we're talking about the base, we're going to turn this into a Sunday school lesson. The base, we're going to use oatmeal, rolled oats, not the quick cooking kind, but the good old-fashioned kind. Now our base is kind of like our church or like our family. It's our foundation, right? It's what gives us encouragement and feeds us through our whole life. We're going to do 3 cups of this, okay? This is going to make a big batch. 3 cups of this, and this is not precise, okay? This is not chemistry. This is cooking, not baking, okay? So there's 3 cups, and look at, I have just that much left in there. That's silly to just save that much, so throw it in. It's not precise. Because really, the base is all of your friends and family. It's your foundation. It's all the hugs, all the laughter. Yes, I know. It's so good. This is our nourishment, right? Now we're going to do nuts, okay? Now, we use a lot of different nuts in our granola. We have pecans. Excuse me, bowl. Pecans. We have slivered almonds. And walnut pieces. Okay.
My favorite.
I know. This is brain food. That's what we call it at my house, is brain food. Okay? So when you're putting this in, I want you to think this is all the stuff that nourishes you, right? So just like John the Baptizer in the wilderness, he needed lots of nourishment. So this is the nourishment that sustains you. Okay, so if we think about this, because sustaining makes me think of God the sustainer, who is also called the Holy Spirit. Yeah, that sustains us. These nuts are like that. Now, I usually spend a little bit more money and get the pieces. You could get the whole nut and then use like a chopper like this. This is one of Greta's favorite parts. This chops the food up. You see the choppers in there? If I push it, the choppers come down. Can you see them? There they are. Can you see the choppers? They chop the nuts up. But I bought the pieces. I know, this one's stiffer because it's new. All right, sis. There we go. Okay, but there's nothing under there. All right, so we're not gonna have to use this today because I bought the pieces. And these, we need a lot of nourishment, a lot of sustaining. You would like one? Mm-hmm. Greta, it loves them so much, she just eats them while I'm going. Now, when we're thinking about what nourishes us, we're going to do 1 cup of each of these. There's the walnuts. I think about things like reading our Bibles. That helps nourish us. I think about things like prayer. That helps nourish us. Here goes our pecans. This is our brain food. A cup of each. I think about things like fellowship, where we get together and we get to talk with other people who are Christians too. And here go our slivered almonds. Again, you can use whole almonds and just chop them up. You could. So that's our nourishing. That's our nuts. Yeah? Oh, I gotta put this back up so our nourishment doesn't get yuck. Those things sustain us. Put them away. Okay, now we use, just to make it extra healthy, oh my goodness, our food is buried back here. Okay, move the leftovers, move the broccoli. We need to get out. We use 3 additives.
Broccoli is an edible green plant in the cabbage family. It's large flower.
I wonder why Siri's telling us that right now.
Leaves are eaten as a vegetable.
Oh my goodness. You just never know what happens in the Russo house. I'm using coconut flakes. Coconut gives us a little bit of sweetness.
I like coconut too.
And we need sweetness in our lives. We need joy. We need fun. We need zing. We need laughter. Okay, that was about a half a cup. Again, it's up to you what you want to put in there. Half a cup, a full cup, it's up to you. Collect your garbage. Don't make a big mess. Okay. I use flaxseed meal and hemp seed meal also, or hemp hearts, I guess they're called. Just a half a cup of those, just to give it extra nutrients. And that extra nutrient, do you see what I did? That's just a half a cup, okay? Don't make it harder than it has to be. Don't dirty things if you don't need them. Excuse me. Okay? So these are those nourishing things. Reading our Bibles, praying, having fellowship with other Christians. Half a cup of all that good for you stuff. Makes you strong. Strong in your faith, too, when you do those things. Okay, I think our butter is done. Our butter and our honey. Let's check. Not quite. Okay, so let me show our friends. I'm going to try not to drop you this time. That's kind of an important part of this. Okay, see, it's not quite done. The honey is nice and melty, but our butter is not. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to turn it up. Give it a little bit of a stir, because we sure don't want it to boil over. Gotta be careful. So we have our rubber spatula, and we're just going to stir it up. Oh, you see this rubber spatula's got caught in the blender before making smoothies. You might not want to use one that's been caught in the blender. That's up to you. But here at the Russo house, we use what we've got. Okay, this is going. Now, Here's another yummy thing. If you want to add to this, you could add a little bit of vanilla. You want to? Okay. Vanilla. Now, you usually add vanilla after it's done melting because vanilla makes it start sizzling and boiling a little bit harder. And I'm going to use a little bit of salt. Okay? Because salt makes everything taste a little bit better. So you should probably look up salt in the Bible. Did you know, Greta, the Bible talks about being salt? And
yes, he loves us as much as you can count the grains of sand.
That's true. There's sand. You're right. That is how God gave Abraham as many descendants as there were grains of sand on the beach. That's a lot. Oh, we're almost done. But salt was really, really important in Bible times. It gave food flavor, and it preserved the food too, because they didn't have refrigerators, right? So when salt makes something flavorful, it makes it better to eat, right? So if you want to think about that, you want people to believe in Jesus and eat, all of that good fruit, you want to make it yummy. You want to make it salty. Okay, here I go with a smidgy bit. You'll see, watch when I put in this is going to be about a teaspoon, friends. See how it makes it bubble a little? That's kind of a teaspoon. Okay, I'm turning that down all the way off. I'm going to put you down because now I'm going to work with the heat. We really don't want to burn anybody. So I'm putting an oven mitt on. We've got our spatula over here. No need to dirty another one. Okay, here we go. Bringing it over. Pouring it in. This is going to be...
Can I mix?
Just a minute. Let me do the first couple of mixers, okay? This is going to be what sticks it all together. That's what the honey does. I mean, it's sweet too, but the honey sticks it all together. So as you're doing the honey part, think about what holds us together as God's family. We take care of each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
We pray for each other. We think of each other's needs. That's like the honey in our life. Yes? Greta, help me out here. Now that butter is fat, right? And fat is so important for our bodies. Our nerves are actually covered in fat. It's like our nerve insulation. If we didn't have fat, we wouldn't be able to think and learn. It's true. Fat is so important. And some people say that the butter is where the love is. Do you believe that? Butter is where the love is.
Yes, that's the love of the taste buds.
Yes, our taste buds are designed to love fat because that's how our ancestors were able to live when they had fatty foods. So the love is the butter. The butter is the love. The secret ingredient is always love and always butter. Okay, we're going into the pantry for Greta's favorite part, chocolate chips. So this is kind of like the locusts that John the Baptizer ate. He ate wild honey, just like we put it. Well, mine wasn't wild. Mine was from a plastic bear. He ate wild honey and locusts. So we can pretend that the chocolate chips are like locusts.
What are locusts?
Cicadas, grasshoppers. I know, but that was his protein source. We're just going to pretend I'm not putting cicadas or locusts in here, but our chocolate chips are the sweet treats of life. Just like that coconut in there. The coconut gives us a little fat in there too, but it's the sweetness of life, the fun, the joy, and the laughter.
And when you start stirring it, it gets to smell even better and better
I know,
and better and better.
They can't smell it though. Okay, now I've got my prepared pan right here, and we're just going to pour it out carefully. I keep mixing as I pour because sometimes there's some dry oatmeal in the middle that doesn't get all the honey and butter, but we really need that in there. Okay, scrape down the sides. That's why we have the rubber spatula. My great-grandma used to call it a child cheater because it scrapes down the side and then the kids don't have as much to eat. But I always leave some for Greta. Okay, Greta, you can have that bowl as soon as I'm done with the spatula. Okay, now we're going to smush this down into one even layer, okay? So it doesn't get burned in one part and too crispy and then too mushy and smushy in another part. So mush it down, make it one even layer. Here's our nourishing granola, full of all that good stuff for our bodies. And as we make it together and we talk about all that stuff that is in the Bible and in our hearts, it's good for our hearts too. Greta, I'm going to put this in the oven. It's going to go in, oh, excuse me, Rapid Chopper. It's going to go in for 75 minutes. 75 minutes. I am not going to make you wait on the computer for 75 minutes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go. Friends, it's been awesome cooking with you today, right, Greta? She's already enjoying the fruits of our labor. So I want you to think as you guys are making granola in whatever recipe you use, that we can learn a lot of lessons from just the food that we eat and how intentional we are when we prepare it. Are we paying attention to our ingredients? Are we being grateful where they came from? Are we thanking the farmer who made these ingredients for us, and the harvester who picked them, and the packager who put them in the packages for us, and the person who put them on the grocery shelves for us to buy? There's a lot of people that made it possible for us to have these groceries. Sorry, I got a tickle. Friends, I hope you have a wonderful time making something special with your family and enjoying it together, and remembering to thank the farmer and each other, and to think of all of the ways that we're blessed.
Bye.
See you next time.